was probably about 4 or 5 months pregnant. I ran out of the apartment because I knew I wasn't safe, and he grabbed me by the hood of my sweater and pulled me down a flight of stairs by my neck and dragged me along the hallway. When my son was 4 weeks old, he assaulted my son. So I knew that that was the time to leave. And I left, and I had about $10 and a bus ticket, and his parents bought me a coffee and a pack of diapers, and we just started over.
No, he told me he uses drugs. I was trying to break up with him, leaving the dysfunctional relationship, but I found out I was pregnant. He was arrested for assault, and I left with my son and one suitcase.
My mom had 8 children. I'm the 3rd oldest. Growing up in East Van was really hard because my mom was an alcoholic. She was never really there. She would leave us. Sometimes there would be no food. Sometimes my mom would be gone for days, weeks, no phone call, nothing.
Dorothy's dad and I seemed to be all on the same page. We wanted the same things. And when Dorothy was born, that really fell apart. The relationship changed dramatically. Once Dorothy was born and it became apparent that she wasn't a healthy, average baby, Dorothy had heart surgery when she was 4 months old. That put even more pressure on us. So this relationship that was really wonderful while we were not parents became really toxic as soon as we did become parents.
I learned about YWCA from advocate at the transition house, and I had an interview with Irene McClellan. She made me feel comfortable. She showed me her compassion, and she understood my situation completely. And in that moment, I thought, that's it. This is the place I can start new life and new journey with my son.
I met my partner, Brandon Estelles, after I graduated, and together we completed our family, and I had 3 girls with him. I ended up going back to school to get my prerequisites to go into the healthcare field, but while I was doing that, I lost Brandon. He died about 2 years ago. It was very difficult for me, and it still is. Like, I think about him all the time, and life was just so much easier when he was around. Like, I had a partner to help me parent my kids and support me. And I really felt like I had that with him, but when I lost him, I lost everything, I felt like. And I really had to pull myself together though, because I had 4 kids and I was a single parent, and I was the only one that could take care of them. So it was a lot of work for me.
The moment I felt most alone was like Mother's Day coming and nothing happening for me. Like, I felt so alone. And then it was just like, we had this Mother's Day tea and we had breakfast and gifts, and like people, photographer came in, which was huge because we couldn't afford photographs. Like, it was a really big thing for me that day.
We had a few times where we separated and would reunite. And then the last time that we were separated, it was so toxic. It was violent. It was really physical. And at that point, it was in front of both of our girls. So that was it for us. It was an easy choice. It's this toxic or it's these wonderful children. And I made the good choice. They're pretty cool girls.
One of the things I wanted to do was go into the RN program. Education counselors were just telling me that, you're not going to get into the RN program. You're not going to do it. There's huge wait lists. It's so competitive to get in. You're going to spend 2 years in school doing prerequisites and still not get in. By April, I had a conditional acceptance to Vancouver Island University's nursing program. And by June, I had confirmation that I was in. So the whole process, through a lot of hard work, took less than a year.
Since I moved to Outer Gardens, I decided to go back to school because I had a stability. I found a place to live. So now, next level, I thought to upgrade my skills. I applied for a couple of job positions, and now I'm working as a financial services representative.
As the FASD co-facilitator, I help facilitate the intergenerational group and the FASD Moms group, which has now changed its name to the Sacred Circle group, which honors FASD. In this position, I've learned so much about myself and about other people. I hope like one day maybe I could open my own practice and really be there for people who need help with grieving or with anything.
6 months ago, the plan was that I would be co-facilitating our single moms group because I had been there already for 2 years. I had graduated from the single moms program, and then crisis hit again. So unfortunately, I wasn't able at the point to start co-facilitating. I still needed the support of the group and the moms and Jen. And the why, because the bottom fell out of my life again. I was diagnosed with cancer in February. So now, instead of co-facilitating and going on to school and trying to take Janet Austin's job away from her, I'm, in the group still as the mom and still accessing supports and still getting comfort and positive enforcements for the stuff going on in my life.
Without the Y's help, it would have been much, much more difficult, or maybe not even possible to first of all, be in school right now. I don't know that I would have had the confidence to go back.
YWCA is an amazing organization helping single mothers and children. They planted the great seeds into my heart so that I can grow and prosper. And then they started believing me, so now I believe myself.
Being a mom has taught me so much about myself, and it has just really helped me become a better person.
And that's where the power for the why is for me. Isn't those sad stories. It's that everybody's story I've met through this journey has been inspirational and has given me the strength that with what I'm going through now, I can't imagine going through it without the connections that the why has given me.
We live in a nice, safe place now. And I feel safe. I don't have to worry about what's going to happen when I walk through the door, if I'm going to get hit, or if, I'm going to get yelled at, or I'm going to get screamed at, or if he's going to be, if my son's going to be, I don't know how to say it.
I consider mothers and children living in this building as my extended family. We support each other, help each other, and we are not alone.
I really hope to just break the cycle of what I've gone through so that when my children get older, they won't have to go through the same things that I've gone through, and their children won't have to go through the same things.
There are times where I feel very vulnerable and very much like I've been put in that position too often. With Gen B, we've had a few conversations in which I selfishly have put myself in Job's shoes, right? Where, why do I get all of the burdens, But they're not burdens unless you make them burdens. So why have I had to be an active voice for my child? Because I had to be. And because it takes one voice to start singing, and everybody has the potential to start singing with you. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to sing, and I'm going to challenge everybody else to sing my song with me, so nobody's crying alone.